like I said, we did, the Door County thing. And so we'll see if there's color. I don't know. Maybe there'll be color. And it's like, and you said you didn't get any color, so I didn't get any color 2 weeks ago either. So either there will be or there won't be color.
Is this starting? Did we start?
Yeah, we're started.
Oh, this is the front part? Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so.
I'm not. Yeah, sure. Take all kinds of pictures of all the color I didn't get to see.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, okay, are you ready to go? Because I'm ready to go.
I am ready to rock and roll. Okay. Hold on, let me put it in my face.
Okay, awesome. So let's get you up here. All right.
Red leather, blue leather, red leather, blue leather, red leather.
Jeez. All right, so in 5, 4, go.
And now, for your listening pleasure, straight out of Milwaukee in the year 2049, we are still the least talked about podcast in Wisconsin, Hip.Or.critical, your outlet to let us praise or vent on anything that, in the end, really doesn't matter. How you doing, Alexa MKE?
I am doing great. How about you?
Guten Morgen, Tag. Sunday morning. We're coming to you out of a Sunday morning before the Packer game, of course.
Yes, Packers. Yay. Up there you go. He's got his Packers hat on. Woohoo.
Well, hey, at least I don't think the Patriots are going to be that much of a problem this year. It looks like so far. What are they, 2-2 already?
We're playing Dallas this week. We're playing Dallas, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right. So anyway, let's see. We're gonna get right into it with our food and movies and fests. Oh my! What did you do?
Now remember, again, we have to do this correctly. We have to tell them all the features that we have coming up in the show, and then we go to them. So
no,
again,
we're just gonna. It's food and movies and fests. Oh my! That's it. That's
all right. Here we are. All right. All right, first one we do, which we always love every year. It's not whether or not we're going; it's just when we're going. Is the Maker Faire? So go ahead. This is like one of your babies.
Oh yeah, I love Maker Faire. I'm gonna be pushing. I met a nice young lady there. This what was it when we went? Was it last weekend or the weekend before? But I met a young lady there. She's starting a new business. I'll be pushing her in a future issue of Hip.Or.critical. But she was really cool because what she's gonna do is she's starting a business up to do floral design and teach people how to make little arrangements for themselves inside of taverns and bars and stuff and restaurants. And I think that's kind of cool. So she's going to be starting another business. And of course, every year there's the Daleks, the R2D2 makers. The
R2D2 one was too. Well, Dalek was cool too.
Yeah, Milwaukee Makerspace.
Full-size Rock'em Sock'em robots. Those are bigger than I had to try to push a kid out of the way. I couldn't play, Kids kept coming in front. And, Chrissy's like, let him play. And I'm like, I'm never going to get to play.
Did you see the button in the middle? Were you able to, because I think that's what...
Oh, I didn't get to use it. Like I said, we moved on. All these kids were there, and they weren't giving it up. And,
Aw, Dave couldn't do his big kid thing.
I couldn't play.
Aw. Well, okay, well...
But again, the big thing that I have was the fact that the 3D machines are starting to show up like Starbucks now. So.
Oh, my God, the 3D makers. People had built their own. There was a guy who had one that looked like it was 5 feet tall, and he had a project in it. It was so cool. It was really, really cool. I want to get a 3D printer. I've got so much going on at all times that I don't know how I'd ever learn all the software and stuff, but hells, why not? Once they come down cheap enough, everybody will have one.
Everybody's going to have one. They're going to be like toasters in their house or the bread maker that nobody has still sitting there anymore. But I think everybody's going to have one of these, just like a microwave or a toaster. Yeah.
If you and your SO ever get married, I'm getting you a bread maker now.
Hey, we have 4 bread pans right now, glass bread pans. We're old school. But hey, another thing that I really thought was cool, and this is something, having 3 kids, I wish I'd have known about this thing a little bit young in their younger days. But around the corner, there's not only the guy's got the wheel down there helping kids learn how to throw pots. There's a guy down there with a welder. I saw this. I had to be like 12-year-old girl. I don't know, 13, 14. They all look young now.
Where was this?
At the Maker's Faire.
Oh, at the Maker's Faire, okay.
And she was actually welding over there. They had her welding something, trying some welding. I'm like, that's cool. That's just absolutely cool.
Yeah. Because I know you're talking about pottery. There was something else you did.
Oh, yes. Date night. Me and the SO went to the Cream City Clay Mud in Greenfield Ave. We threw some mud down, and the guy was really nice. There was only 5 couples, so it's a small 10-person classroom. Learned at first time with me ever being on a wheel, so I learned to throw it, trying to find the center, make a cone, and then push it down, then spread it out. And I don't know, the first one you thought you were doing all right, and I stopped the wheel and it was lopsided on one side, that kind of thing. And
that's called art.
Yes, that's exactly what he told us. He says, now you've got a piece of art. You no longer have a cup, you have a piece of art.
That's awesome.
So I threw a couple things. We glazed them. They're gonna fire them. We have to actually go down and get them. So hopefully by next show I'll show you my ashtray for Mom, and then my macaroni plate with silver macaroni on it and a smiley face. I'll show you that too.
Well, okay. So this place was you said it was called Cream City Clay.
Right, Dream City Clay, again, just in Greenfield. It was
in Greenfield or West Dallas or on Greenfield.
West Dallas, and on Greenfield in West Dallas. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right.
So it was like $80 for the couple, so 40 apiece, and then from here you can go on to other classes. But he is you can throw 3-4 pieces of mud if you need to, but he's there to help, and it was really a nice cool little thing. So.
Well, that's really cool. And
but
then
we didn't take the bus there. What's that?
You could take a bus there. Okay, so I went to that On the Bus, which I spoke about in our last episode. That's in Milwaukee Public Market, and they have a great menu. They've got hot sandwiches, cold sandwiches, ice cream, smoothies, acai bowls, and it's all vegan. And
rewind. Acai bowl.
Acai is a berry, and everybody's like, that's a superfood. Believe
it's like
me.
Quinoa.
Yeah, quinoa. But yeah, it's really, and everything was delicious. I had the barbecue and the seitan barbecue. Roger had the Jamaican jerk, which is also made with seitan. Seitan is basically a gluten-based protein. They wash wheat just so that the gluten is left, and then
Jamaican jerk. There's a guy down there going, and your mama is ugly too, man.
Oh, mom. Oh, your mama, she's so ugly. No, no, but it was
fish. Try these smoked fish.
No fish. It's vegan, but it was really good, and I would recommend it to anybody. And it's funny because I just want to throw a little aside in here. There's been some discussions on the internet about there's a lot of fakey burgers coming out, like there's Impossible Burger and Beast Burger, and the interesting thing I'm finding is some of the discussions are full-on meat eaters are going, those things are great. Those are awesome. It's like they're cheap, they're easy, and you can just throw them together and And it's like, yeah, fakey stuff is coming along really well. All the meat subs and the restaurants that are opening up are great. And apparently, Beatrix, who's has some pop-up restaurants, is going to be opening a restaurant up in Shorewood. And I don't know if it's vegan or vegan vegetarian, but I'll keep everybody updated on that because that's my jam. So there you go. Yeah,
yes.
So
we'll all be waiting for the new vegan place to open up, right, folks?
I will, and so will all the vegans and vegetarians in Milwaukee. Shout out!
You and your other 10 closest friends will be down there eating every day.
I know a lot of vegans and vegetarians, so yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway, let's see. I went to go see a movie. And you went to go see a movie. What movie did we go see, Dave?
Well, we went to the Blade Runner. Down here, they had the biology.
What the hell is a biology?
Well, they had the double feature. They had the original Blade Runner, and then right after we got to watch 2049. So yeah, because 3 is a trilogy, so 2 has to be a biology, right?
Okay, that makes sense, and that's actually really clever. Okay, you wouldn't answer me before.
The first one, again, refresh everything before you head in. We had our pizza there, and then we went into the second one. And your thoughts? You go first.
No. I asked you, and so now you owe me an answer. Did you like it?
It's your heading. This is you put that in there. So
No. I asked you first yesterday, and you wouldn't tell me. Did you like it?
Listen. I'm telling you this. If you like the first Blade Runner and how fast it moved, you're really going to love the second one.
Are you telling me you didn't like it?
No, listen. it was everything that you'd expect from it. I would tell you that. I love the storyline, love the visuals, but they could have cut out about 20 minutes. That's about what
That's a common complaint with a lot of movies, which is why I'm glad to see some movies going down to under 2 hours. But I really, here's my thought.
But when I watch one of those Marvel movies, 2 hours and 20 minutes seems like 10 in that movie. Yeah. You know what I mean? That thing, when it's done at 2.5 hours, I'm still like, oh, is there an intermission? Can we come back for more? You know,
that's why they give you the little thing at the end of a Marvel. Well, I actually thought they did a really good job because I think they got the tone right. I think they got the music was good. Right. It was definitely very reminiscent of the Vangelis soundtrack. There were a few things that were a little kludgy. And I was hearing some feedback on some of the stuff I was reading that people didn't like Jared Leto's performance. And I think what they're doing is because they're saying he's douchey or whatever, or his lines were... I actually thought Jared Leto was sufficiently creepy. He was very creepy. And everybody seems to forget.
There just wasn't enough background on that guy for me to be a major character, and we didn't really know enough about him, and coming in and going out, you know, and that's that. I guess that kind of left me. It's kind of like I wish they'd have gone deeper into his character in all this time, find out what made him, how his rise, what, you know, that a little bit of that. But
but you wanted the movie not to be longer, so I think that was probably the compromise.
Well, you know, they could have spent 20 minutes of driving around, you know, in that, you know, in the
site. Don't do spoilers. But, okay, so what I want to say about the Jared Leto thing is Jared Leto was in, what was it, Dallas Buyers Club. He was amazing in that. You know, I agree that his performance in the Suicide Squad, you know, and I think, you know, especially having to follow the Joker, you know, after Heath Ledger did it was hard. But what everybody forgets about Jared Leto, he was Pretty Boy in Fight Club. And everybody remembers him from 30 Seconds to Mars, and he's pretentious musician. He was acting before.
Oh, yeah. No. The Buyers Club, I watched that. He was great in that. Again, I'm never going to put him down as his chops as an actor. No, definitely. No. You know, he's good. And again, I say the same thing that you did. You know, it's hard to follow up another Joker, but he did the right job in the movie. It was fine. Yeah. I got no problem with Jared Leto in there. I didn't even recognize him again, you know, at first. So, you know, when he showed up. So, you know, I mean, the guy turns me off so much enough that I don't even see his face right away in the actor, you know, just in his mannerisms, speaking, and his draw. That's good for me. I don't recognize him right away.
Yeah, and I agree. So, and I also, I don't know, did you see Kingsman Golden Circle?
No, I saw the first Kingsman. It was great, a lot of fun. We do know we want to see the next one again, the follow-up, because it looks like it's just as much fun. So
definitely a $5 Tuesday movie. We went to go see it. I don't know if we paid full price or we did matinee. I love the first Kingsman, and the second one is as much of a romp. I'm not going to give anything away, but the villain is great. She's amazing. I think she's sufficiently creepy and weird, and it has all the same...
Because Sam Jackson did a great job of being that very quirky bad guy last time.
She's such a different quirky villain that it works. And, you know, they bring in the Statesman, which you see in the trailers, and I think they do a pretty good job integrating that and how they end up, you know, with that. But there's a few things that didn't work for me, but overall, I think it was a great romp.
They're fun movies.
If you're looking to be entertained, go for $5 Tuesday. You'll enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah. Good. All right, so a couple of TV shows that finally started coming back after they were all off for me. Hey, have you checked out The Orville yet?
I have not, and I was really reticent to even watch the first one because everybody was kind of saying, you know, Seth MacFarlane, and he has had some poopers lately. But I'm sufficiently intrigued by everybody's reviews, so I probably will check it out.
I'm enjoying it so far. I don't know if the jokes will run out, if they can keep it up and everything like that, but I'm sufficiently entertained. It's Galaxy Quest. You know, it's a TV show that's like, you know, Galaxy Quest, the movie, Tim Allen and everything.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's almost like that without the trying for the humor. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the seriousness is still
a little bit more subtle.
Yeah, but it's you know, so I kind of like it. It's like watching Galaxy Quest, and I loved watching Galaxy Quest. You know, maybe you're the plucky sidekick. Huh?
Oh, jeez. No, I'm the plucky sidekick.
You are, yes. So that's good. Survivor's back on. We've got 2 people out so far.
Yeah, I'm digging Survivor. Let's see what happens, though. I don't think anybody's looking for idols hard enough yet. So.
Oh, somebody found one though. We got it. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. And there's none of those guys like what's his name that ran around. Looked under every bush when he was there.
Yeah.
Mr. Robot's coming back. I think was it next week?
I'm excited. Yeah, it's this Wednesday, so I'm excited, and we'll see because it's such a dark movie, or a dark TV show, but it's also really fascinating. It's just so well done.
Right. It's like I know I gotta watch it too closely. That's the problem with that show. I have to watch.
Yeah,
it.
You can't fall asleep during that show. And a side note, Rami Malek is going to be playing Freddie Mercury in the Queen biopic, and I think we talked about this. So people are kind of like, because Queen has had their hand in it, they're hoping that it's not going to be whitewashed.
It's got the stamp of approval, so it should be. I think it'll be fantastic.
I hope
Nation is back. My Z Nation's back, so I've got that coming.
Yep.
And Gotham is in another full swing too, so that's great too.
And they're starting to bring the Batman character into that, right?
Well, what's his name? The guy that Rami, what's his name? That trains him, is in the picture now.
Okay.
So they've got that whole thing going on, and now he's put a mask on his head, and he's starting to do a little vigilanteism on his own. So yes, it's starting to flush out a little bit more now, the character. So it's great there. And you had a review, What the Health? What was?
Okay, What the Health. All right, so. I make no bones about being vegan. I'm not like in the closet about it or anything, but I've been vegan for over 7 years now, mostly because of my health. So What the Health was something that intrigued me when I saw it on the Netflix documentary list, because now I've cut the cord. I'm doing more of, researching, trying to find some things to watch. And really good movie if you're really concerned about your health. It's got all of, the people that when I started researching, had the most credibility to me. Dr. Michael Greger, you have Neil Bernard, you have Caldwell Esselstyn Jr. All of these people have done research over decades, and they've cured, or at least, helped their patients become healthy and get off of medications and overcome their medical issues going forward. Because Caldwell Esselstyn, he used to be on the critical cardio care unit at Cleveland, at the Cleveland Clinic. And he was sent the people, he wasn't even a cardiologist. He was sent the people that the cardiologist couldn't help. And he put them on a whole food plant-based diet. And some of them are marathons now. So, and they're off their medications. And these were people who had, were basically given a death sentence and told to go sit in a rocking chair and die. So, this is something that if you're struggling with your health, if you're on a lot of medications, you're looking for an answer, it's not an easy answer, because you're giving up things that you love. But the thing is you're gaining your health. So I look at quality over life over a cookie. I'll take the quality of life every single time, because I can make a semblance of a healthy cookie every day. I can't get my heart health back. I can't get any of that health back. So that's why I'm whole food plant-based. That's why I'm vegan. That's why I started. So I wholly recommend it to people, along with all the other ones that are out there. So give it a shot, people. It's giving up cheese is not really that hard. Giving up
meat, there's a good way to start to get you tipped over the edge, right?
Especially when you see some of the stuff, because it's not for the squeamish. They do have some of the factory farming stuff in there, and it goes over all of that. It goes over the health and the environment and the potential harms across the board. And so it's not an easy watch. It's not your typical Kingsman Golden Circle,
Yeah.
Although Kingsman Golden Circle has a message at the end, which I totally got. I'm not going to give it away because it's kind of like it's the kicker. It is funny.
Shyamalan.
Yeah, no, it's not an M. Night Shyamalan thing. It's just funny. So anyway, speaking of health, we've lost some people this last
Oh yeah, I mean, again, it's just we're getting that age, all of us, and there's more entertainers that we know from our age and all that. I mean, we got Monty Hall. Let's make a deal. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he was so much fun to watch, after school.
I mean, is that? Do you think that's how God did it when He showed up there at the pearly gates? Monty, come on down.
Well, and then we lost Hugh Hefner, who
his articles got me through, high school.
I'm sure they did. The thing is that Hugh
Yeah.
Hefner was a huge civil rights proponent. He was a really genuinely good guy. You know, with all the sexual scandals that go on, this is a guy who all of these women who were around him, all they did was come out and say wonderful things about him.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah, he really wasn't much of it.
he
He was a
he
sex maniac, that's all.
he wasn't a sex maniac. He was just a human rights maniac. I mean, he believed in equality and he empowered women through their sexuality. Some women would disagree with that, and I am a feminist, and I went back and forth on this, but I really do think he, you know, yes, women were sexualized and objectified, but he did bring forth. He used that to as his political platform, and you know, to forward human rights. And you know, the women he did, you know, feature were never I've never read anything where they felt they were, you know, mistreated or sexualized by him. So it's like
Right. Not
it
like Terry Richards, you know.
right. So you know, I give Hugh a thumbs up. Hopefully you'll have, you know, everything you want in your afterlife, is if there is one. And then
Right.
we lost a music legend.
Yeah, Tom Petty. Yeah, but that's I saw him on the Damn the Torpedoes tour back in the '80s. So I mean, I've been around. I saw him maybe 3-4 times in concert. Saw shows and everything like that. That's a kind of a hard one. The early '66. I mean, that's again a little just too early. These days you don't think of '66 as when you die. You want it to just to be a little bit later.
Well, that goes
But
back to that health thing. That goes
the
back
big
to the
thing,
health.
the big thing is again news getting in the way of news. This is where we learned something again this time. They said he was unresponsive. He was sent to the hospital, and the family took him off life support. So somebody took that and made it seem like he died.
That was CBS that did that.
Right, very easy to make that little leap. Okay, but that just shows you what a little leap by a news organization can do and how it can roll downstream. One person reports it, everybody just takes that thing as gospel and runs with it.
Yeah.
Even when I put on my thing about my tribute to Petty, when I had heard it, I didn't say R.I.P. because again, I even read that, even though I read 2 articles. One said they just took him off life support. They didn't say he was dead yet. I mean, it was inevitable, but again, so about the time everybody came out and said you were stupid to say he was dead, he was.
Yeah.
So
and that goes to the to the point that you have to read. You have to read every line. You can't sit there and pull context out of a sentence or a clickbait headline. You have to read every line. Speaking of Tom Petty, I watched Saturday Night Live. Their intro was amazing last night, and they did 2 things. Jason Aldean came on and said a very touching, short message to everybody about the Las Vegas shootings, which are horrible and tragic. And then he went on to play Tom Petty's, music.
Something like that.
Yeah, and so that was probably the best way. And we do want to, put our thoughts out to everybody who was affected by the Las Vegas tragedy, because, we don't need this in our country anymore. I'm over it. I'm completely over it. And I'm sure everybody else is, and we need to get some sanity.
Well, somebody needs, as much as we can't, everybody wants us to do something about gun control, but here's the problem. The reason gun control works in other places is because they started it in a different time. We have now we're almost a point of no return.
I don't want to get into the political part of it because I've got very strong views about this, but
hey, at least they're going to maybe not get rid of these bump stocks now. They are as small as the thing that the NRA is going to give up. Maybe they're going to give that up, and so
they're willing to do that, which is fine. So do my little cord cutting aside here. I'm gonna do my little cord cutting aside and get a little bit back on track. The good, the bad, and the frustrating. So I've been using Sling and I've been using Netflix. I've also been streaming from the internet over my PC. So the PC stuff, no problem. I have no issues with it. Netflix has been fabulous. Their platform is solid. Sling, however, has been very touchy. So for people who are considering cutting the cord, I initially had the HBO package with the blue package with the DVR, the cloud DVR. The cloud DVR is completely kludgy and unreliable. Sometimes you can't play back and cast to the TV. you can watch it on your device, but you can't cast to the TV. And I've got a Chromecast, so I can just mirror my phone onto the Chromecast, which is fine. But the cloud DVR, for instance, yesterday, my husband loves Formula One. We went to go watch Formula One qualifying. It cut off after qualifying session 2. So we didn't get to watch the 3rd qualifying session. So my husband had to go look it up on YouTube, was able to find somebody who had done like pretty much an illegal thing and posted it to YouTube so we could watch the final qualifying session. But I mean, that's my favorite part of Formula One. I like Formula One. I love the racing, but my favorite part is actually the qualifying. That's the most fun. So it's like that was an issue, and we've been having, like I said,
not often will you say someone, yeah, I went to the football game, watched them warm up, and then left. You know.
Well, the practice is the warm up. The qualifying is where they get pull and where you're on. Because with Formula
Pole
One,
position and all that, right?
There's passing in Formula One, but not like it's not like a NASCAR race. This is, they're going as fast as they can, and it's on a road course. So, but. That's neither here nor there. It's been kludgy. So we're going to look for some other alternatives, as we go forward. Right now, we're not too worried about it. All of the, the Packer games, we're getting over the air anyway. Bless you. We're getting them over the air. So it's not, a big deal. And the other thing is Amazon Prime. I've also got Amazon Prime. I've had it forever for the shipping and everything. So the video is just a bonus to me. I'm not even including that in like my overall costs. And I am saving like over $150 a month right now. But I can't cast it to my TV. I can only watch it on my device. So Amazon does not play with Google. And so going forward, this net neutrality stuff is going to affect us because if we have stuff that isn't going to play together, it's going to affect us. And I am not going back to spending $200 and some a month on internet and cable. Just not going to happen. So just for everybody's, thing, we'll keep doing updates on all that stuff, but yeah. And speaking of watching stuff over the internet, here we're going to have our internet adventures. So Dave,
internet adventure.
So what is your internet adventure?
Well, you got a couple here first. Milwaukee was in Huffington Post twice this week. What was that for?
Okay, so we were in Milwaukee in HuffPo twice this week that I saw. One was for
probably.
No. Okay, so we're one of the recommended cities for hipsters.
Oh, gosh.
Actually, no, that was the Bayview one. Bayview is recommended for hipsters. But Milwaukee is supposedly drawing millennials in, which not every millennial is a hipster, and not every hipster is a hipster. But I guess, we're becoming a draw for people who have,
slackers.
Slackers? What? Anyway, they're drawing people in for, the skills and the internet. And so there's companies coming here. We're becoming more of a it town, which is kind of cool. And then the other thing is you'll love this. Best overall travel music, and I guess the Milwaukee playlist is the most diverse playlist. If you go on Spotify and you there's a Milwaukee, you can have a Milwaukee playlist. We have Al Jarreau and jazz and hip hop.
Really?
And so you think about the Milwaukee playlist, it's we are kind of a diverse group here. So that was pretty cool.
I was listening to there's some Latino guys working near where I was working, and they're playing their Latino music, and I'm listening to it, and I swear it's like our polkas. It's just Latino music is nothing but polka with Latino words in it or something like that. I swear it just sounded like that.
Well, I did study music, and there's a lot of the same structures from different things. So unless you're going to an Asian music where it's a five, what do they call it? A five
or whatever.
Yeah, it's there's different types of music, but a lot of stuff is structured the same, and a lot of our rock and roll even comes from some of the folk music from other places. So it's kind of cool.
All heavy metal music, like Metallica and Ozzy, those guys all drew upon classical music. Beethoven, Handel, all those guys that had all these big booming drums in the background and bass lines. So they stole a lot of their stuff. You bet.
That's pretty cool.
All right, as far as Facebook ads and everything like that, I don't know how much more you can do with that stuff. It's we got people over in Russia or whatever, putting ads that are fake, and they want the money, and they want, how are you going to research every ad that you're putting out there, before
they can. There. Okay, so first of all, Facebook has stacks and haystacks of metadata just laying around. They just kind of go, hey, metadata. Anyway, I guess at first Mark Zuckerberg said he didn't believe it was happening, and this and that and the other thing. And people have to understand that Facebook's a really small company. They have under 100 people working for them, and so going forward, they looked into it and they found that yes. Some of these were being put out by bots, and there are ways you can detect that bots are putting things on your platform. And so now they're going to look into this. They are doing some mitigation. They're trying to eliminate the fake news, things that aren't verified and real. Google's starting to do the same thing. So as far as internet goes, I want it to be a free internet. I don't want it to be the wild, wild west, but I also don't want it to be in a box. So, I don't want to have gatekeepers. So where do you draw the line between the gatekeepers and actually having the freedom? So that's going to be really interesting to watch going forward.
Everybody wants the freedom until someone abuses the freedom,
Yeah, exactly. So how many of those AOL CDs did you get back in the day, Dave?
Oh my gosh, I picked them up at every grocery store I could.
For those of you who don't remember,
40 hours, 100 hours.
I was on the internet. I was on the internet before AOL and whatnot, but you'd get those discs. Remember the discs? And they would come in the mail, and they'd come every other week. And you'd have 500 free hours. So you'd create a new username and get your 500 free hours, and create a new username and get 500 free hours. So you could just surf the internet for hours and hours. We can do it now. We take it for granted.
Sure, and then hours and hours, you got to maybe see 5 photos and one video. To download it.
Well, it was mostly text. And so speaking of text, and creating new usernames, the big thing about AOL that was so cool was the instant messenger, the AIM. Well, I hate to tell everybody who's still using AOL AIM, it's coming to an end December 15th. I know it's a sad day for you, Dave, because you still have the chats, and whatnot.
Yeah. They're like the back in the day when they first started computers and they had these chat rooms. I remember that putting on my laptop and then just going to this whole list of things, like people talking about Monty Python, people talking about the weather, people talking about cats, you go in there and you just there'd be 2 or 3 people talking to each other, and you just start talking. Those chat rooms, remember in the beginning?
Oh my God. And the people didn't understand is because they would do the AOL, and then people were talking about Netscape browser. What the hell's Netscape browser? Because everybody was boxed into AOL because AOL's browser was proprietary. And once you got into the Netscape, they all of a sudden realized, there's Usenet out there. There's other things out there. You could do GeoCities. And all of a sudden people are like, oh my God, the World Wide Web.
Exactly.
And it was cool. And it was really funny at the time to see, having been a tech person, see the news people go, and the World Wide Web.
Yes. I still know someone who types www in front of their things. I'm like, what?
Oh, geez. They don't. How about HTTPS?
HTTP, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny. Okay, so.
All right, next is mine.
Google. You've been doing your Google Photos.
Google level guide. I'm up to level 4 now. I don't know what that means, but
how many levels do they go to?
I have no idea, because there was a little blip that said something. It sent to me. It says, "Hey, just want to let you know that local guides from all over are coming to Milwaukee for a get together." And these are these guys that are I guess must be in the 1,000 numbers or something like that. So, I'm at right now, I'm at 294 is my points or something. So that's what level 4 is now. 25 photos. My Fred's got over 1,000. My bargain center, my little whatnot shop bargain center is at 1,200. I added 2 Goodwills yesterday, a Hobby Lobby. My Serb Hall, I even can maybe look this morning. I didn't before I got here. I might have actually hit the 5,000 number I was waiting for on my.
Wow! You're racking up the fake internet points.
Yeah. So right now with all my photos, I'm at 9,096 total views on all my photos. So I'm closing in on 10,000 on all my photos, and let me just serve all. It didn't update. 4,994 views. So 6 more people view that. I'll be at 5,000 on that. So
Dave is internet famous. Oh my God!
no,
Congratulations!
yeah,
Should I
yeah.
send flowers?
Yeah, and where's how much does that put in my pocketbook too? Just as much as this show.
Well, yeah, but we will one day be internet famous, so we're all good.
I'll be dead.
So,
Who's this guy?
who's what guy? Oh, that guy.
Yeah, on the
Anyway,
group. This guy always showing up.
so let's talk some more about local stuff. Our new segment, or our continuing segment, is this critical, where we discuss interest in news and stuff like that. So you mentioned Foxconn earlier. Foxconn has chosen a site.
Yeah, so now all the bickering starts, and and all that, and who gets charge of what, and and how big of a park, and who's the road going to go into, and all these guys and the farmers wherever they are that are now going to are going to sell their properties so they can get out of farming now, and so we'll see how all that goes, and again we'll wait for those 3 to 10,000 jobs to come.
Yes, the high-paying $50-some thousand a year jobs, which we've discussed before, so we're not going to go over that ad nauseum. We have the streetcar obviously is underway, but big news on that. I'm really surprised at this, and I'm kind of pleased. Potawatomi has stepped up. They're going to sponsor the streetcar, so it's going to be named the Hop, which I think is kind of clever because
That's
you
fine.
hop on, you hop off. You
Yep.
go get beer. It's made with hops. But the other thing they're doing, which is super cool, is they're paying all of the fares for the first year. So the first year, once it's operational, will be free, which encourage people to jump on and try it. So I'm much more hopeful about it now because I've been skeptical the entire time. So we'll see how that works. But props to Mayor Barrett for actually putting this deal together because he's trying to do it without taxpayer money, and that was the huge criticism, was the taxpayer money. And we still don't know going forward what the maintenance costs are going to be. But once we have a better idea,
$3.5 million a year, they think after. So they've got the first 3 years covered from what I read, and then that's the 4th year is going to be $3.5 million. And again, we certainly, at what cost again? At what cost? Now we have a proposed city budget that includes 33 fewer police officers and 75 fewer firefighter positions. And they just closed down, 3 firehouses lately. So we're swapping these services for this monorail?
Actually, no, because none of the taxpayer money for the streetcar came from any of that part of the budget. The budget stuff is coming down from the state because they can't afford it. Milwaukee, I had said this last time, Milwaukee is the engine of the entire state. And our funds are always almost 65 to 70% of any other municipality of what for a per capita municipality might get. That's what we get from the state. Well, if we're the generator, shouldn't we be getting more of the state funds and trying to get some of those federal funds? So there's something broken in the system, and to the point,
what? There's something broken in the system.
Yes, there's something broken in the system.
In the machine.
So anyway, the thing is that we need to fix that disparity and try to figure it out. Tax cuts are not the way to do it. Because it's kind of like saying, hey, we want you to do more with less. If I said that to you, if I came into your work and say, oh, well, we're cutting budget, and you're the one who's getting your salary cut, but we still expect you to pay all your bills, you're going to go, no, that's not going to work. And that's how this works. We are the people who pay in we are the engine that pays in. So tax cuts are not the way to go. And this was in Kansas. They did this in Kansas, this tax cut. Kansas is in such financial trouble. We can't be cutting taxes. So to that point, if we don't cut the taxes, if we remain, at a level of taxation that we're at now, this wouldn't have happened. And the way Barrett is handling it is they're going to allow people to retire off. And, people who are retiring off or just quitting, it's just they're not going to be replacing people. So in other words, it's kind of like a hiring freeze. And that's probably what they should have said. Instead of eliminating these positions, it's more of like a hiring freeze.
They're going away and we're not replacing them.
Yeah. But, again, they really need to fix that whole thing that's going on. And so that's my take on it. going forward. Now I know you had another that wasn't a local thing, but you had
Well, it's just yeah, and here we are. We already talked about this before. The EPA guy they put in charge is not a guy you want to put in part of the
no, he wanted to
EPA.
actually eliminate the EPA
Yeah,
because
right.
he was a big oil guy. So
Right, right. So here we are again, within hours of meeting with a mining company CEO. The new head of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency directed his staff to withdraw a plan to protect the watershed of Bristol Bay, Alaska, one of the most valuable wild salmon fisheries on Earth. So here it is. Here we already are piecing off our stuff, man. We're selling off, things that we said we can't have anybody here. Well, now maybe we can have somebody here. Now, how does that help me, the little guy? How is this environmentally helping me? It's not.
it's not. And to your point, and you bring up a huge point. We're going again. This is big oil. We are going away from fossil fuels. Coal is basically dead. Oil is going the way of the dodo. And what is rising? You have European countries, small islands that are going to solar. They're going to wind power. There are some that are, they're
Well,
proposing.
this mining stuff is all about the gold and the copper and the nickel because right now we're like importing like 30%, and this can take us down to 5. Who cares? What what? Here's the conundrum, and this hit me a little bit because the hypocritical part about this I understand and I wrestle with it as well. This is one of those things at night, is it bad to steal? Yeah. Is it bad to steal a loaf of bread to feed your family? Right. So we call it the consumption conundrum. As a society, and this is what I'm reading, we use an enormous amount of materials, and we have an obligation to be choosing where and how these materials are mined. The U.S. has some of the most stringent environmental laws in the world, and the question is, do you want to develop a mine under these standards, or do you want to turn a blind eye and have the minerals mined in third world countries where their environmental restrictions are probably not as close as what they are here? See, and this is what it is. It's that whole not in my backyard. Okay, I don't want them digging up this land because it's easier for me to let little kids sift through garbage for silver in India than it is for me to worry about that here. I have a blind eye to that, where it comes from and how it gets to my table. All right. So do we want that as a society? Do we want to let this mining happen where we can regulate it? And now we're not giving the job to all these slave laborers across the nation? Or we just keep on saying, we're getting it from slave labor already. That's their problem. Let's keep it coming here cheap.
Well, that's choosing between two evils.
Right.
We never want to do. So at the end of the day, what we need to do is be more responsible consumers. You need to not be getting a new phone every year. You don't need it. My husband's phone is 3.5 years old. He's got, a note. And it's like, and you need to think.
Disposable society.
It's a Dixie cup society is basically what it is. And Dixie cups are great, but they do add to the landfill, and nobody's recycling half of the stuff they should be.
The K-cup guy, the guy with the Keurig cups, man, he's so disappointed in what that landfill what his cups have become. He can't believe he sold that many and it causes that much garbage.
Is he still in charge of that? Because they are also one of the proponents of DRM. So you can't in the newer K-cup units, the newer Keurig units, you can't use anything but a Keurig. There's a workaround for that, but there's a hack for it. But why are you selling coffee with DRM on it? Basically, it's like it's so stupid. So to that point, you've got these companies that are basically and Nestle and Coca-Cola, they're just as culpable because they're taking water out of areas that need water.
Right.
There's an area, and I forget where it was, and I wish I had this in front of me because I wasn't thinking we were going to talk about that. But they've basically taken all the water out of the groundwater, so the people who live in the area have to go get their water from somewhere else because it's been bottled for us to consume. So yeah, your impact of what you're doing is huge. Everybody's impact every day is huge. And so yeah, I agree with you. You don't need a brand new car every year. You don't need a brand new TV every year. You don't need all that. And that's where all that goes. It
Well,
goes to
it
all
comes
of
down to
that.
that. I still, you hear the dealerships, the car dealerships. They want you to come in for a 3-month, 3,000 mile oil change. That's so much bullshit now. If you've got a car that's from like the last 10 years, you probably only need to go every 5,000 miles or 6 months, and the new cars are once a year.
Okay,
So
and we're car
think about
people.
that saves.
We're car people, and to that point, 7,500 miles on most of our vehicles, and we're actually looking into the new Mobile One that you only need to change once a year because we have a couple of cars we don't use that much.
Right.
We're gonna put that in those cars. So you only need to change it once a year. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little bit more expensive, but if you aggregate it over the cost of a year, and if
No,
you're
you're
driving
right.
15,000 miles, 3 or 4 oil
But
changes
now
a
we're
year.
not using new oil. We're not having waste oil. We don't, But here the dealership still wants you to come in at 3.3 because they need it for the generation of the income.
Well, and they put it, if your car's under warranty, you have to do it. If you've got a new car like leased under warranty, you have to do it, or it can.
But even warranty now is 10,000 miles, 75, 15. It is even on the new cars now. So
So it's stupid. All right, we're done ranting with that.
All right, so time for the real rant. Then,
time for a Moke moment. We're renaming our random rant segment to Moke moment. I may do a Moke takeover every now and then, but we are going to do a Moke moment. I have no idea what this is about, so I'm with you listeners and viewers. I'm going to be entertained as well.
Oh my gosh! So all right, so we're living here in the city. So in the area we live, from 3 to 6 a.m.
We're in the city?
Yeah, from 3 to 6
a.m. Tell that to the squirrels getting the birdie cakes.
So from 3 to 6 in the morning, there's no parking on the streets. You can call in maybe once a year or whatever, but there's no parking 3 to 6. All right.
Okay, so you're probably like us because I'm in West Dallas. Do you have parking permits where you are?
No.
They don't issue parking permits. See, in Dallas, they issue parking permits. If you have a parking permit, you're good.
Yeah, nope. So from 3 to 6, you need the car off the road. And there's a parking lot across the street, but that's included in that, of course. Can't park in the parking lot from 3 to 6. So my SO's got it, and we only have one car parking, so my SO's got a deal. At night, she parks in a business across the street. We know the business people. In the morning, she gets up in the morning at 6:01 or whatever, moves out of there so that the car's gone for the business, not blocking their business, and she puts it back out on the road, all right, at 6:01. So she gets up every morning to do that, can't sleep in, anything like that, because I got to move the car. So the other morning, on a Saturday morning, I got up and it was to go to the bathroom, and it was 20 minutes to 6, and I'm like, I'll be a nice guy. I'm up, I'm going to the bathroom. I slipped on my shoes. I went out. I grabbed her car out of the parking spot across the street and pulled it out in front of my house about 5:45. All right. I'm thinking, so I crawl back into bed, I said, well, you don't have to get a move of your car because I did it already. And she goes, well, you're going to get a ticket. And I go, what? No, I'm not. I said, it's 5:45.
You didn't listen to her, did you?
I'm sure the guy's gone by already. It's 5:45. So in the morning we get up, we look out. Sure shit, there is a tag on the car. I'm like, that can't be it. What? The guy must have been right behind me. I want to walk, So I go in, I look, and at 5:58, the ticket has been written out. 5:58. Now, listen. First of all, yes. Was I illegally parked? Hell yes. But there has to be some wiggle room. Everybody has wiggle room. All right? There's a 2-minute warning in football. All right? If you're going down the highway and the speed limit's 70, is everybody at 71 getting pulled over, or 72 miles an hour that's going? Are they all getting tickets? No. They're not getting tickets, all right? I mean, even if you go into a gas station and something's $1 and I have 99 cents or 98 cents, there's 2 pennies there. There's wiggle room. So even in money, there's wiggle room. Now, also, is this guy writing tickets at 3:01? Because if he's writing tickets at 3:01, he shouldn't be writing tickets at 5:58.
That's his job.
That's what
I live on a street where people.
What are you making? This guy this guy likes his job way too much. If he's writing a ticket to me at 5:58, and you know that son of a bitch was driving around all day, all night, not seeing my car there. He goddamn well knows it was there for only 15 minutes. You know?
Wow, Dave. Okay, so I live, like I said, in West Dallas.
$30 for 15 minutes.
I laugh every single time somebody new moves in because I have a garage off to the side, but my place is out front. And I learned right away. And Roger had this happen a couple of times. He'd be lazy and not park the car, and he'd put it out front, and we got a ticket. Like you said, 5:56, 5:57. It's like they go up the street and they do up until their little watch says 6 o'clock. It doesn't matter. And so you are not alone in this, and it happens in all the municipalities. But I laugh because every time somebody new moves in, and you said you're recent to that area, and I'm sure all your neighbors are laughing. It's like, yeah, he's got that car out there. It's going to get a ticket. Because there's a guy who works third shift here who every now and then he just doesn't, he isn't going to work, so he leaves his car out there all night. And I'm still waiting for him to get a ticket because when he does, he'll start parking it.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like, so park your damn car.
Oh my gosh, one time.
But did you learn your lesson?
Yes, of course I did.
Okay.
But it didn't need to cost me $30. A warning could have been good enough for me.
But I agree.
A buying citizen.
Can you go in and fight it?
I didn't.
Is it worth your time?
You know why I didn't go in and fight it? Do you know why?
No.
No. Because I couldn't freaking talk about it now and be upset about it. If I went and fought it and they gave it back to me, I couldn't have a rant that I have today. So damn right, I paid that sucker so I could rant about it right now.
Yes. Dave did it for you, people. Dave did it just for you.
So you could get the benefit of my rant.
There you go. That's awesome. So there, everybody. Dave has sacrificed $30 for your entertainment. So anyway, we got some stuff coming up around the Milwaukee area. I want to give a shout out to Gallery Night and Day. This is our Hip Happening segment where we tell you what's going on. Gallery Night and Day has been going on for forever. I don't even know how long. But this year it's October 20th and 21st. On the 20th, I'm just double checking my notes, 5 to 9 on Friday evening and 10 to 5 Saturday during the day. It's free to the public, but the parking around the area, some of the parking's been reduced. So they have a website for Gallery Night. Just put in Gallery Night 3rd Ward, and it'll take you right to the website, and you get a little bit more particulars there. My other favorite thing to do yearly is Fright Hike. That is also October 20th and 21st. That's at the Lapham Peak State Park out in Delafield off of Highway C. $7 per person. Be careful if you have little kids because it can be kind of frightening. It is at night. It is dark. The paths are lit. But you could give really little kids nightmares. So if your kid's okay with a little bit of, scary stuff and spooky stuff, it's fine. The other caveat is you either have to have a park sticker on your car or it's a $5 park entry fee. Let's see. And then the other thing I noticed is that we have, for people who have kids who don't want to take them to Fright Night, I guess on November 5th they're going to have a Peppa Pig thing at the Riverside. And
Pig.
I don't know anything about Peppa Pig, but all I hear is anybody who has children, they talk about Peppa Pig.
Yeah.
So Dave, what do you got going on that you were interested in?
Oh my goodness! Next couple of weeks, busy. This thing next weekend, I think is just fantastic. Dine to End Hunger Zombie Crawl at Walker Square Park in Milwaukee. That's October 4th. All right. So it's for the St. Vinnie de Paul meal program.
October 4th was
14th.
14th. Okay, you said 4th.
I'm sorry. October 14th, next weekend. All right, next Saturday. So a week from now, less a day. And then make signs. So it's for their, like I said, their the St. Vinnie de Paul meal program. At 11:30, they begin a 2.5-mile zombie crawl in the community. Awards for best zombie costume, of course. Registering is $15 if you're alone, or if you have 4 more, it's only $10 a piece. So I think that's cool. And I like this little thing in here. They see it, it says in here, it says, make signs for zombies seeking awareness, food awareness. So I'm like,
cool.
What kind of sign does a zombie, hold for food awareness? A couple of mine I thought was, you don't need brains to know that hunger is bad.
You could do the zombie vegan one that goes, grains.
Grains, that's good. That's good. Zombie hunger is not a crime. Use torches for cooking, not weapons. Do that. And I thought the real way a sign would be from a zombie actually would be.
Oh, you could do that. You could do that. Nom, nom.
Just not the sign though. I just have a sign. Arg, erg.
You have to put the nom nom in it though.
Nom, yes. Right.
That's the hunger part.
So what we want to do is ways to raise awareness, and we're going to put 2 brains in every pot.
There you go. 2 brains in every pot. Brains.
All right, and then the week after that, this is something we've been having fun for, and I do have a little prop to show you on this one. The Harry Potter Festival is coming to Jefferson, Wisconsin, the 20th, 21st, 22nd.
That's huge.
That's what I was saying.
It's gotten huge.
It's huge. It's got. Again, a couple years ago, the quote was, "We might get 5,000 people this weekend," and now I think they're expecting anywhere from 20 to 40,000. So
isn't that crazy? That's just crazy.
Absolutely nuts. They're going to start with a march down Werewolf Island on Friday, where the Great Torch is located. They're going to pass torches along the way. The mayor's going to be there as well, dressed as Dumbledore. And they'll have a night out with the parade on Friday, a street dance. They're going to have a drive-in movie theater with the movies you can buy and watch them again. So yes, we do have a couple costumes. We're going to go Friday night just to go mingle and check everything out. Check out the parade, not dress up on Friday. Then we're going to go back on Saturday and we're dressing up. The SO has got really big hair, frizzy hair. So she's going as Professor Trelawney, the woman with that does the.
You're gonna have to get us pictures,
Yeah, definitely. She does the reading of the glass ball, the crystal ball.
Yeah.
She does, and then
me.
Right. I am going as the tree that held the Weasley car. The big tree on the. So
oh my God, that's awesome!
Yeah, I'm gonna have this sticking out my back, and I got a big burlap. Some fabric yesterday that's burlap with brown, and I drew like some tree marks on it. So I'll put that over the top of me and go as the tree that ate the Weasley car.
That is awesome.
So yep, that's in 2 weeks for anybody else. Tickets still available from what I understand. And I'm working on my Halloween costume. We went to that yesterday. That's why I was at Goodwill a couple times yesterday. Me and the SO are going as Heat Miser and Cold Miser.
There you go. That's Budweiser.
Heat Miser. He's Mr. 101.
Okay. Well, on that note, I think we're going to say goodbye to all of our lovely listeners and viewers. We'd like to thank them for watching and, especially Dave's mom. Hi, Dave's mom. Hi, my neighbor.
Hey, and Pat, thanks a lot for that nice words, Pat. Again, I don't know if I mentioned that before. Nice words on our first show, Pat. Appreciate them as always.
Well, it wasn't our first show, but yeah, Pat's awesome.
First show back.
Yep. And so if you're watching or listening and you tell 2 people and they tell 2 people, we can become internet famous. And, so if you like what you're hearing, please do that for us because we want to become internet famous. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, hip.Or.critical. And you can, I actually have a different Twitter handle now. It's Alexa MKE. It's in my lower third right here. And so you can shoot me a tweet out there, visit our Facebook page, or definitely subscribe, like I said, to our YouTube channel. It's going to be probably another 2 weeks, right, Dave, before we do another one. But everybody stay safe. If you're involved in any of the tragedies or weather events, like I said, our thoughts are with you, and we love you. We love everybody in Milwaukee. So. Bye.
Stay safe. We need all the fans we have. We can't lose any.
High five, Dave. High five.
Bye, Milwaukee.
Bye.